In this tutorial you will learn how to add a gun to the game and make the player can shoot in this direction where the mouse is pointing. We start with adding a global data script for make the access to several variables a bit easier. This we do by file, new script, and we say global data in this case. This one extends nodes, this is fine, and we just add it to our globals like here. Project settings, globals, and we just search it by this one, global data, and we add it here on the right side. Then this should look like this, and then you successfully add it to your globals. Globals are just data which you can store there, and they'll be loaded beside by your game as a script which will be accessible from everywhere in your game. And we just store two export variables here. We need to export the variable world equals %./world on ready, and also on ready variable player equals %./player. So we need these two variables. Why we write it this way? This ... is always a step back in the tree. That means from this global data we'll go one step back to root, and from root one step to world. Oh, I see, this one has to be written with a large W, and that we have access to the player, we actually has to say ... back to root, go to world / go to player, as a player is a child node of the world. So the next step, we need a new scene to add a gun to the game. The gun scene we will make as a sprite 2D. For this one we'll just other node say sprite 2D. And as a child node of sprite 2D, we will set a marker 2D, which will be the spawn point of the bullets. We just need to, we'll just rename this quickly to gun, as I always like to name the parent scene as the scene what it's supposed to be. In this case, we'll just add this texture, the gun texture, to this scene. What we want to do is setting the offset to be right here at the most right spot of the gun. In this case it would be right here. So we say offset x is 8, as this sprite is 16 by 16 pixels, so offset is 8. And we also set the marker 2D to this spot. This will be actually the point where the bullets will start to spawn. And this one is important, that when we rotate this very quickly, we see that this gun will rotate on this point we just set it with offset. So that was it. So we just save it very quickly, gun scene, and we need a bullet scene, which we will also do with this time we take a character body. As this body has movement, we need to add a character body. We'll add a collision shape and a sprite 2D. And this collision shape we'll just make simply to a circle, just like we did for the player. And we just add a bullet sprite to the sprite 2D. We call this character body bullet. And we also save this scene. Wait, we just need to adjust the collision shape by just clicking on it and to drag and drop this dot here to make it the same size like the sprite. So we save this one, and this one will be bullet. Save. So let's start with the gun. We want that the gun will always follow the mouse. So we add a script to the gun. We call it gun.gd. And we will write the following script to this gun. As first, we'll say we will add this marker 2D as a onReady variable, ctrl, control, and drag and drop this from here to here. The next thing what we're gonna do is function. method process where we just say look at the method you call to make this sprite actually looks all the time to the direction where you want, and at this point you just write the inside here, and we want that this sprite, this gun, will always follow the mouse. We say look at get global mouse position as get global mouse position, and that's already it. So when we would start the scene, which we can just do right here, that wouldn't be a problem, you can see that this gun, I mean it's not visible that good, but you can see the gun here is just always following the mouse position. The next thing is we want to add a shoot function, so we say function shoot, which will leads to void, and we say variable new bullet equals bullet.instantiate. Now you will realize there will be an error as Godot doesn't know what is bullet in this case. Bullet in this case is this scene we just created, bullet.tscn. We also control and drag and drop it here. Press left click, control, and drop it here. So we have the constant bullet as a scene. Preload scene. And then we instantiate it. That means that we just added as a packed scene to the game. And we just need to add variables to this bullet, such as the position. So we say new bullet, as we just you call this variable we just store here, new bullet dot position equals marker 2d dot global position. That means the position of the new bullet will be the point where this marker 2d was at this point where we just clicked to shoot with the gun. Then we just add another new bullet dot target position equals get global mouse position minus marker 2d dot minus marker 2d dot global position dot normalized and yeah, that's it. And the next thing what we do is we say GlobalData.world, as we just added in GlobalData the world as this variable we just can call it from everywhere we want. World.addChild brackets new bullet. So whenever we just call this method shoot, right now we don't call it anywhere, but this we'll do soon, we will add this child to this world scene just below the player. Okay, that the bullet will work as intended, and as we didn't have a target position variable yet on the bullet, we also need to go to the bullet scene, and we also add a script there, bullet.gd, and we just need to write the following script. We need also a speed variable, which we also can say export variable speed as an int equals, in our case 400 for example, and we need a variable which will be target position, and we also need variable despawn time to make, if in case the bullet will not hit any enemy, that the bullet will despawn after a certain time. Despawn time equals 1. Just say 1 second. So we need 3 methods here. The first one is ready, and in ready we say despawn. Oh wait, we just say pass first, as we don't want an error. The second one will be physics process function Physics process is an inbuilt function, that's why we can just auto-complete it by just press enter. And then we just set the velocity, such as we did in the player script. The velocity is this movement of this body and is just existing in character bodies. That's why for the bullet we also need a character body. So we say velocity equals target position multiplied by speed. Very similar to the player script. And then we say move and slide. The next thing is function despawn, which will also lead to void. This will be the function which we'll call when the bullet will not hit anything, that it will just despawn after a time. We create an await statement. That means that everything what is after that, the script will wait until this, what we write behind await, is finished to go to the next line of code. So we say await get tree dot create timer, and then we can see time in seconds and another rules what we can set, but for us it's just important that we write a number inside, and this number will be the spawn time. And the next thing is dot timeout. What do we do? Get tree will call the tree of the game. Tree is the start point of the whole game, so there everything is stored in the tree. Every child is based on this tree of, it's just the base scene. Then create timer, that means we just create a timer which will be on the tree as a child node or like as a child class, and this timer we give a time of 1, and as it spawn it will just count down from 1 to 0, and when it reaches 0 it will send a signal which is called timeout, and from timeout on, after this one is finished, after timeout, we will keep going and say everything what will happen after this one is after the signal is called. So in our case we just say Q3. That means Q3 is just delete, just like delete this scene when you don't call it on anything. Just like this one, it will Q3 this scene where this script is attached to, so that this one will be called anyway. So we will put it in ready. That means when this scene, the bullet scene, will enter the scene, such as when we press a left click to shoot, then it will start, count from 1 until 0, and when it reaches 0, then it will just delete the bullet. If you want that the bullet can fly further, more far, more distance, then you just can increase the despawn time. Okay, that all of this will work, we will also want to see it. So we go to the player scene and we add the gun TSCN to the player, such as this one, and it should be actually at the right point. And when we start the game, for example, the gun should already follow the mouse as here, but we can't left click yet because nothing will happen. This we will add now. So we go to the player script and we add a function which will take care of the input of the left click. So we add a method which will be func input, and we just press enter to auto fill it, event, input event, and leads to void. And we also say if event dot is action pressed mouse left, then we will say get node gun. This is from here. Get node will call this path, and this path will lead to one of this child. So when we say gun in this case, we will call this gun, and we say gun dot shoot. This is actually the method we just create in the gun script right here. So that was actually the magic, but mouse left is not existing in your game yet. So we will have to go to project settings, input map, and say add new action, mouse underscore. I just call it mouse underscore left. I'll add it, and I already added before, so we'll just, for you it should look like this, and it should be empty, and then you go on the right side, add event, mouse, you just have to click on the plus, click one time with your left mouse button and OK, and then you have the whole script for shooting. And when we did everything alright, we just press left click. Okay, we got an error. Add child in base null instance on a null instance. GlobalData.world is a null instance. That means I did something wrong here. From here, dot, and then to the world. Okay, the mistake is actually this one. We have to write $sign and not percent. It has to be a $sign. So when we stop and start again, we just press left click, and as you can see, we can shoot with the gun. That was it for this tutorial. I hope I can help you. You can leave a like or comment, and if you want to see more tutorials like this, you can just subscribe to the channel. The next one will be how to add enemies to the scene and shoot them.